And I am joined here with Deno. We are going to go over the SE survey, and then we're going to have a conversation about vaccines. So, Deno, if you want to introduce yourself, now would be the time.
Yes, I'm Deno Moore. I live in Michigan. I was born in Detroit, raised in Muskegon. I live north of Muskegon now, and I'm a high school graduate, a Vietnam vet. I was in the Army for 2 years with honorable discharge, and I've been a paralegal since 1985. And I've lived a quite exclusive life, so.
All right.
Is there anything else you want to know?
I think that's about it. I think that will do pretty well. So okay. I think we can jump right into the SE survey if you want, Deno. I think we're both kind of know who each other are a little bit well. Right. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit.
Oh, so we do.
Yeah. So the Street Epistemology survey. So the first section of it is, what is truth? Now that's more of a rhetorical question here.
Right.
But it will be the Street Epistemology survey. It's a bunch of statements. And how many statements is it? 24 statements. And it's kind of like an agree or disagree type situation. Or, you know what? If you have any other thoughts on it, you can give those thoughts too. You can say like strongly disagree, kind of agree, kind of don't agree, strongly disagree, whatever your thoughts are on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you can jump right into the first one here. First one is, a statement is true when it corresponds to reality.
True. Yes, it does.
All right, perfect. And I agree with you on that. Second one is, we all share the same reality and only interpret it differently.
Yes, people interpret things the way they understand them.
The way they understand them. Okay, so different people can have a different understanding, but everything for everyone is the same reality. We don't have any, you're not living in a reality where something might be true for you that's not true for me, and vice versa. We both have the same reality. Okay. And I would agree with you then that is true.
Thank you.
Truth depends on the opinions and beliefs of people.
Beliefs, yes. Opinions would be more or less what they think the way something should be. Mm-hmm. That's so. Yeah, but the truth, opinion, but you can't really consider it a lie. It's just somebody's suggestion of how they interpret something, the truth, how they interpret the truth.
If I have a really, really strong opinion on something, can that make it truth? Can that affect reality?
Oh yes, because usually an opinion is based on an experience or something that you've seen or heard. And that would be, it's consistent with the truth. Both opinions and beliefs are consistent with the truth.
I think I would disagree with you, because I can think of an example where an opinion or a belief may not necessarily be true. It may not be dependent on truth. Like, can you think of an example that somebody can have an opinion on it and it's not at all close to the truth?
Well, I guess an opinion would be, how you interpret the truth or a lie, I guess. It would be you interpret.
What about a belief? Can you think of a belief that may not?
A belief is, that can be based on how you were raised to believe in certain things. It doesn't necessarily make it the truth, but that's how you were raised.
Okay.
I guess that would be more of a morality of how you were raised. That would be a belief. And opinions, I guess, could be based on that too, on how you were raised.
What if some people like to burn sage. They believe that sage can ward off evil spirits. And let's say they take this sage and they have their, I don't know what it's called, that little thing for burning sage, and
Right.
they take it and they throw it all over the house to get rid of the evil spirits or bring good luck. I'm not sure exactly how it works.
Right. Yeah. You're on track with that one. Yes, you are.
So if just because they believe it, it's not necessarily gonna bring them good luck or anything.
Yeah, not
Or is it?
necessarily.
Okay.
Well, I guess the way to look at it is if you believe in something strong enough that it'll work, and if it works, hey, more power to you. I guess it's more or less, I guess, would be the power of suggestion, and you're using sage to express that feeling and that
So
belief.
kind of like a placebo effect. Is that what you're trying to say, or am I off on that?
Well, yeah, it's because some people do that. Mostly Indians do that. They came from Indians
Okay.
folklore and their beliefs and stuff like that. And well, the only way things are going to work is if you make it work. So whether you're using sage or anything else, any other substance, as long as it gives you a positive injection of what you believe in, then hey, whatever works.
Do you
So
think
what
that?
works for what?
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, what can work for one person might not work for another. You just have to find your way on what works for you. It's like people that believe in God and Jesus and everything else, and people believe in bad things, like the devil and stuff like that. So it's just how you express your beliefs is how that would apply itself.
Okay. If we could, I like the sage burning example. If you don't mind, we could stick with that one.
Sure.
Let's say that someone burns this sage and they think that it brings them good luck. And let's say we test it out. Let's say we figure out, like survey them every day they burn sage and every day they don't burn sage. And maybe it's like a blind test where we'll burn some sage in their house, but we won't let them know. We'll have them leave the house for a few minutes. Some days we will, some days we won't. And then we give them a survey and say, how was your day? Was it really good or really bad? Did you have good luck, bad luck, whatever? And let's say that the results come in and actually not burning the sage, they say they have a more positive experience when we don't burn the sage in their home. In that example, does that kind of...
Yeah, that would be using sage as a power of suggestion.
Right.
It's just like a commercial on TV with hamburgers. You see a McDonald's commercial, and all of a sudden you want to go to McDonald's, something to eat.
Sure.
So that's
Okay.
sage could you can work. But see, what you're doing, you're following the American Indian way of life.
Sure.
And obviously, I guess it works. It just depends on the individual situation because they used it before white man came along, and look what happened to this country. So the sage didn't work too good for them when it comes to that part of their life, So
okay, sure. Okay. So I guess a belief, a truth may not be dependent on a belief. Is that kind of what we're getting at towards? So this might not be a...
Well, I guess basically the truth is you're being honest. Truth is projects honesty. You're being truthful, and if you can't tell the truth, then you're just probably better off to say nothing at all. I guess some people some people take that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What if we flip out the word truth and use reality instead? Does reality depend on the beliefs of people?
Yes,
It
because
does.
everybody lives in their own reality,
reality.
Life is a reality. So whatever people, you get people that are depressed, and that's their reality, and then there's people that are happy, and that's their reality. So you got different. It's more. I guess it would be more like an individual belief, and your opinions are based on your beliefs. There you go.
I'm
How's
gonna,
that?
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump back for 1 second to number 2. We all share the same reality and only interpret it differently. And I
Yes.
think
That,
you
that's
agreed with that. Did number
yeah.
3 with you agreeing with this one? Was there any contradiction here?
No, there's no contradiction. They all overlap each other. Truth,
Because no,
opinions and
don't.
beliefs.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I thought that you had said. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm misquoting you, just say, "Hey, Pierce, you're wrong. I didn't say that. That's all in your head. You must have made that up," and that's possible. But I
No, I'm
thought that you
right.
had
Go ahead.
said that people all live in their own reality. Was that something
Right.
that you said? Okay.
But
But
yes, it's
okay.
still a reality. It's just everybody sees
Sees
something,
things
the same
differently?
thing differently. Yes, the same
Okay.
thing differently. A reality, if you're living in a fantasy world, and you're seeing things that aren't there, and other people don't see it, as far as physical things, I see that over there. There's a deer running across my yard, and you look out there and you say, I don't see no deer. You know what I
Okay.
I guess that would kind of narrow it down. But we all live in
Okay.
the same reality, and it's our destiny to whatever we choose to
Okay.
live our opinions and beliefs, because
I
that's
think
our
I
truth.
I think I understand what you're saying. So
Okay.
if you don't mind me recapping. So we
Sure.
all kind of live in the same physical world. So there's a tree outside and we both see that tree. There's a deer. We're both going to see that deer unless something has
Right.
tragically gone
Right.
wrong. And
Right.
so we both have that physical sameness of reality. But then
Right.
like our mental states can be different and one person can see the deer and be really happy and another person can see it and be sad or something. Is that kind of what you're
Yeah,
getting at?
that's always a possibility. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's still a reality. I guess that would a reality is based on an independent thing that
Okay.
we all see everything different, but it's
Right.
still
Okay.
reality.
Gotcha.
Uh, oh,
I think we're on the same page there. So let's move
right.
on.
Okay.
People create words and define their meaning.
Well, that's because they don't read Webster's dictionary.
Right. So not everybody reads the dictionary,
Right.
but
Well,
as
Americans are
okay.
good for using slang. So people create
Mm.
words. That's slang. Like marijuana, pot, joint. Reefer. It's all the same thing. You're just using a different word to describe an object.
I love that example. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
You think
well. I'll
people
tell you this. When I was 16 years old, I thought marijuana, pot, and joint were three different kinds of dope.
oh so people
Then
can
I found out.
sometimes use a
Right.
word and then think it has a different meaning or to them it has a
Right.
different meaning. Okay. Yeah,
Well,
we're
like
on the same page. I
yeah.
agree.
Well, even I know words, I know the meaning of them, but I still look them up in Webster's dictionary to make sure that I understand or that I interpret, that the meaning of that word. So, you want to make sure, just take the time out to make sure you're making the right definition for the right
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, I think that's solid. All right, we'll move on to
So,
the next one. A statement is true if everyone agrees.
um, no, that's because you're with a group of people that see everything the same way, but you could have another group of people that see things differently. See the same
I,
thing differently. I mean, yeah, the statement is
yeah,
true. Well, yeah, it could be true.
it could be,
Yeah,
but is it
it could be.
in every
But
circumstance? Is it?
um, like I say, you got two groups of people. This group sees the same thing one way, and the other group sees it a different way. It's like there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. So you have your side of your story. I have my side. We could
Hmm.
both be wrong, and the truth the truth will set the record straight between you and I, between how we see things differently. So
Awesome.
the
Yeah, I
statement is
think
true. Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah, we're on the same page there. Absolutely.
okay.
A strong belief, even without action, can change external reality.
Strong belief is within. The action, the strong belief is within you, and
Mhm.
without the action, it's your gut feeling
Hmm.
can change external reality. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that can happen. That's just a different kind of reality. You have, well, obviously, if you have external reality, you have internal. Internal would be your strong belief,
Ah.
and without the action, you don't. In other words, you don't. Like there was an old saying: "Who was buried in Grant's grave?" Well, Grant. You have to go dig up his grave to see that Grant's there. That's pretty extreme. So that's where
Hmm.
the action comes in. Without action, you see
Hmm.
George Washington's picture on a $1 bill. You haven't met George, but you see his picture on a $1 bill. That's the without action.
Okay.
So strong
Without
belief in. Oh,
so
go ahead.
strong belief without action. Are you saying that it cannot change external reality?
No, it can change it.
It can, without
Yes,
action, without doing anything
without
physically.
action. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Action without action. If you had action, that just verifies your strong belief and the change in external reality. That's
So,
that.
what was your example? What was the general's name with the grave?
General Grant.
General
He was
Grant. Okay. Let me
he
throw
was
you an
one.
example.
Okay.
So we were sitting outside at General Grant's grave. If I have a really, really strong belief that George Washington is actually buried in that grave, without action, does that change external reality? Does that make George Washington under the ground there?
Yeah. That changes the external reality. Yes, it does.
So
Because
if I strongly believe that, that means George Washington is actually buried under there, actually 6 feet under in that
no,
location.
not really.
Okay.
Not really.
So
If it,
so strong belief can't actually change external reality without action?
uh, yeah, I guess, yeah, it can change external reality. That would, yeah, that's in the ballpark anyway. It just depends on how literal you are about your beliefs versus external reality. External
Okay.
reality is, well, in your state, you got without actions in the middle. So that would be, that's your belief. Like everybody has different beliefs, but that doesn't make them right. So the proof
All
is in the
right.
pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
Okay. I agree. I think mostly we're on the same page there, so we'll move on.
Okay.
The next part is how does belief work? Some
Well,
beliefs should. That was a
some
rhetorical
beliefs,
question.
okay. Some
So we'll move
beliefs
on
should
to the
never,
first state. Yep, some beliefs
okay.
should never be questioned. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, you don't want to question somebody's belief. You can
Hmm.
share your belief with them and compare notes. And it doesn't necessarily one is right and one is wrong, because a belief is more internal. It has to do with how you were raised. You were raised to believe that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny exist, but when you get older, you find out they didn't. But that's your belief at that time. But you should never question that belief. You don't sit there and tell kids, "Oh, Santa Claus doesn't exist." You don't tell kids that. So
Hmm.
you just go with the belief, because the belief is what makes people feel comfortable and secure with themselves. That's what the belief is. So whether they're creating their own belief or they were raised on that particular belief, we're all raised on different beliefs. We come from different neighborhoods, but sometimes you and I, even though we're from different neighborhoods, we might see eye to eye on the same thing. So that means we were raised with the same beliefs. Where somebody
Hmm.
else, a third person, can be standing there with us and have an entirely different belief from what you and I believe.
What
It
if
should never
the
be. It should never be questioned, though.
what
Never
if the
question a
belief
belief.
is harmful or causing harm to others? Then should it be questioned?
Yes, because, well, what you want to do, you don't want to really question it. You want to present some kind of physical proof, if you can, to make that person understand that their belief is a false belief. Because you have true beliefs. There's always an opposite to everything. So if they have a false belief about something, if that belief could be harmful to them, then you want to try to set them straight.
Okay.
And if it works, it does. If it don't, but don't try to make them change their mind. Just give them a different situation that's different than their belief, and hopefully they'll grasp onto that. But you never want to question a belief. No, they should
Right.
never be questioned. Just
I
yeah, go ahead.
I do disagree with you, and I will kind of explain why.
Okay.
So I think that all beliefs should be questioned. However, I think that if you are going to talk to someone about a belief, and if you're going to try to either A, change their mind, or B, ask really difficult questions, much like I do, I think that you should have their consent. You should be able to
Oh yeah, yeah.
ask them, hey, is this
Oh
something
yeah,
you're comfortable talking about? Yeah.
that's what I do. I never. Well,
Sure.
to be honest with you, I never expect anybody to believe what I tell them. I expect them to do the research and find the answer themselves. But I try to steer them in the direction where I got my information from. If they still look it up and don't believe it, well, that's their prerogative. But yeah, beliefs. Yeah, yeah. You can. I guess you can question a belief, but not. I don't think you want to question it literally.
Okay, yeah,
And
not interrogate the person or
no,
something,
not
especially if they
interrogate them.
don't want
Just
to. Right.
well, here's what I learned in the legal profession. Ask why. Why do you believe that way? Find
Yes.
out how they believe that way, and then sometimes you might show them how you believe or something, because then they gave you something to think about with their belief, and you're returning the favor by sharing your belief with them, which could be different than theirs, obviously.
Hmm.
And then you got to give people something to think about, because sometimes you can sit there. You can be looking at something and not see it's there until somebody's like, "Hey, you see that over there? Oh, I didn't even notice it." That would kind of fall in that category, I guess.
All right. I think we found some common ground on that one, so we'll move on here.
Okay.
Someone can be certain something is true, yet still be mistaken.
Well, I guess that's because they would have been obviously misled with a lie about that particular thing, and then when they or if they come up with an assumption that something like I say, everybody sees everything differently. And
Mhm.
it's just if you see something the way it was meant to be seen, then at least point that out to that individual, but don't try to put the squeeze on them for it to see it, because then what you're probably doing is expressing how you see. Everybody sees everything different, but let's see, something is true yet still a mistake. um well, true, something that is true yet still a mistake. Well, that
Uh,
kind of.
well, someone's belief. Someone can be certain that they believe something that is true, but yet that thing isn't true.
Well, yeah, well, beliefs are basically harmless, really. So if someone
Mhm.
makes a mistake, we all make mistakes. So eventually we learn on our own, and but that's probably the best way. But if you see somebody's making a mistake, set an example. Don't tell them. Just set an example of how to do something. Don't say, "Well, you're doing that the wrong way. Here's how you do it the right way." Everybody has a different way of doing things that works for them, which doesn't mean it's going to work for the other person. You have your different way of doing things. As long as it works, that's all that matters.
Okay. You
So
said
does that?
beliefs are harmless. I would beg to disagree on that. Not all. I mean, some beliefs definitely are harmless, but I
Yeah,
think
they
that
are, but
some
not.
beliefs might be harmful. Like,
Oh yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you on that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they can be a mistake, but if you see that's a mistake, and if you can help that person, see it the right way to correct that mistake, I should say, then that would be, a little bit better,
Yeah.
because you're doing something to help somebody in a positive way.
Yeah, I think that.
Because if I was making a mistake, I want somebody to let me know I'm making a mistake. I don't want to sit there and sitting there, Dino's making a mistake. You know, too bad for him. No, if you know that I'm making a mistake, let me know that I'm making a mistake, because then that gives me the chance to correct it myself.
Awesome. I completely agree as well.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We should be satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim.
Satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim. Well, that would, that's that's kind of based on evidence, I guess.
Let me
You make a
expand
claim
on.
unless.
Let me expand on the statement a little bit. So it says we should be satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim, meaning that we can't perform a test, or we shouldn't consider a test that would be able to negate the claim, prove it wrong. We should only be satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim. So let's say we do a test and it doesn't confirm the claim. It says that it's a negative result.
Right.
It's like, nope, not true,
Yeah.
not true. Then
Okay,
it's basically saying that we throw that test out and disregard it. I think that's what
Right.
the statement is getting at. Do you agree with
Right.
that?
Okay. I agree with that. Yes.
So we should throw out tests that
Well, let's say like the test is a breathalyzer, and
okay.
the equipment is faulty, or you get a speeding ticket based on radar, and the radar is faulty, and you can prove that, because the officer is making a claim based on a test that's inaccurate.
Sure.
So yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's
okay. And I would agree with your specific examples. Totally, 100% on board with you there. But what if the equipment was actually accurate and it was like 100% reliable? Would that change your answer?
Then that can. No, it's just because then the test has been proven to be accurate, which confirms the officer's claim based on the test. Okay, yeah. So
to recap, if the test is reliable, we shouldn't throw it out. We should keep that test.
Exactly.
Perfect. Awesome. We're moving on to the next one.
Okay.
If all members of a society share a belief, they are justified to hold that belief.
Yes, because like I said before, like beliefs are based on how you're raised. It's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just a belief is more or less of a harmless thing, unless you're exercising that belief that harms people. Then it can't be justified.
Okay.
Can't be justified.
Okay, if it's doing harm, it can't be justified. What if it's a belief, like let's say, what if they believe that the sun revolves around the earth? Are they justified then?
Well, they can believe that, but that really hasn't been proven scientifically. I had something tossed at me a couple months ago that after all these years the earth is flat, and I said, well, does that mean that Christopher Columbus was right because he said the earth is flat, but then he proved it was round, and now we got people coming around hundreds of years later saying, oh, the earth is flat after all? Really? So it's just a belief can be harmless, and then if you exercise that belief and it's harmful, like if you believe sacrificing animals for your religion, well, that's harmful. That's not justified because it harms something. Yeah.
What if we flipped out one of the words here? What if instead of justified, we switch out they are logical to hold that belief? Would you agree
Logic?
or Yeah,
Yeah.
if all members of a society share a belief, is it logical to hold that belief?
Well, yeah, because logic is based on common sense, really.
So
And
let me throw out an example here. I'll use your flat Earth example. So let's
right,
say it's year 2021, just like it is today, and let's say a small group of people in a certain area all hold the same belief that the Earth is flat.
flat.
Are
Yeah,
they? Is it logical for them to hold that belief?
not really. That's not very logical, especially when everybody knows the Earth is round. You know, if their belief is something that's not contrary to the truth or the reality, then yeah, that wouldn't really be justified, I guess. Yeah,
All
so
right,
I'd have
we're
to
on
agree
this.
with you on that. Yeah.
We're on the same page.
So
Awesome.
yes, yeah, we're doing good.
All right. Believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true.
Believing something is false feels just like, well, then I guess that would be based on reality of something. You have your own reality. A false feeling, believing something that is true. False feeling. Well, that's a good one. There, you're throwing me a curve here. Believing something that is false feels like just like believing something is true.
Yeah, like if
Well,
you're wrong,
it's just right. It's
cut.
just a matter. It's a matter of belief, like believing in Santa Claus. It's a harmless belief that's true to you, and it makes you happy. You know, and the main thing is, as long as any of your beliefs or anything like that, as long as they're not exercised in a way to where you're harming people, a harmless belief, whether it's false or true, is not important. As long as it makes you happy, that's well, I guess if you want to look at it constitutionally, it's freedom of choice. If you
I
want to,
think
if you
we,
want to,
I think we're
yeah, if you want
straying
to be,
away from the question just a little bit. If you don't mind, you had a really awesome example. I really love that example. So thank you for throwing it out there. That Santa example. So like
right,
with a small child, that belief in Santa feels just like believing something is true, right? They think it's true,
right,
so it
right,
feels just the same. It doesn't feel any different, right?
right. It doesn't feel any different and
Perfect.
eventually when they grow up and get older. I mean, they go to the mall every year before Christmas and they sit on Santa's lap and takes pictures and everything, and that's a good false belief.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's a good
We're on
false
the same
belief.
page here.
It makes you happy. You sit there when you get older. Look, I had a picture taken of Santa Claus and all this stuff, and
Sure.
that's as long as people are happy. That's all that's important.
Feelings are a reliable way to discover truth.
Ah, good one. Feelings, gut
Mm-hmm.
feeling, that
Mm.
intuition. We all have it. Some of us are more aware of it than others, and we exercise. That gut feeling is like something something doesn't seem right. You don't know what it is. So eventually the truth of that gut feeling will become a reality,
Mm.
which makes it reliable because then you've proven in time, however long it takes, just like I say, you have a gut feeling about something ain't right. Um, then you find out eventually within a day or two or a week or a month, whatever time it takes, because you'll remember that feeling.
Is
And
this
that,
sometimes the case or always 100% of the case?
oh, this is 100%. Yeah, your gut feeling will never steer you wrong,
Hmm.
especially if you follow that gut feeling. That's why you're
Can
having it.
can I throw out an example?
Sure. I like
Let's
examples.
say, awesome. So let's say someone has a belief that Honda motorcycles, this particular model, let's say Model Z, Honda Model Z, is the
Right.
most powerful motorcycle that's ever been commercially produced. Okay.
Okay.
And and then let's say they really believe it, and they feel that it's the most powerful. They've written it all the time. They feel that it's the most powerful. But then let's say we do a scientific test. We put like a computer chip on it, and we put a speed camera on it, or maybe one of those guns with, the cops, or the radar guns.
Yeah,
right?
radar gun. Yep.
Sure. And we see how much fuel it's consuming and the horsepower and all that. And we don't confirm that it's the most powerful. Let's say we could say that it's a different type of motorcycle. What is that really popular motorcycles? The ones that are really loud.
Oh, a Harley Davidson?
Yeah, let's say it's a Harley Davidson Model A. That's actually the most powerful.
Right.
So in that case, were feelings not exactly a reliable way to figure out what's true?
No, that's reliable, because let's say I'll give you an example that's comparable to your example.
Okay.
A feeling is, let's say you get on a motorcycle and you take it for a ride for the first time. Of course, that's the most powerful bike in the world to you, because that's the first time you ever took that bike out.
Okay.
But then eventually, the more you ride that bike, the more you get used to it. And then you find, but see, the feeling is it's a reliable way to discover the truth, because it's the truth to you. It's your reality. It's your reliable feeling that you're having from your experience. Oh, does that sound about in the ballpark there for an example?
What if someone rides both the Honda Z and the Harley Davidson A? Let's say they test ride them a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
And they still think that the Honda is more powerful. But then we do the tests and we figure out that the Honda really isn't more powerful. It's the Harley Davidson. Is that feeling?
Well, then I guess.
No,
that's right. Yeah, well, definitely you didn't discover the truth with that feeling. Yeah, you got a point there. You didn't discover the truth. But see, you said, like I said before, if you have to have something to compare. If you have a comparison, then you find out the truth that way, because of your feelings. So your feelings they're not entirely false, but you were able to, through your own feelings, you explored the reliability of your feeling to discover the truth, which you found out Harleys were faster.
Right.
So, so it's I guess it goes with feelings go with experience. Usually.
Okay. All right. I think we can move on from that one. The next section is called When Should We Believe? And the first statement is, believing something without evidence is admirable.
Well, that would be based on believing something. Okay, we're talking about beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't use circumstantial evidence or physical evidence to compare to this. Believing something without evidence is, well, I guess that would go back to your gut feeling, because that's a feeling that you're having, and based on a belief. And well, it's just I guess it's just the intuition thing, really, is without evidence. It would be without evidence. Well, like I say, there's physical evidence and there's circumstantial evidence. So that's kind of open question. Go ahead.
I'm going to phrase this statement as a question. Okay. Is believing something without evidence a good idea?
Yes, because it's going to lead you, if there's any evidence there.
Without evidence. No evidence.
There's no without evidence.
Without evidence.
No evidence at all. No, I wouldn't. I guess that wouldn't be admirable then. If there's no evidence, then your belief would be false.
I agree. Well, not necessarily false. It might be true. It might not be true.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. Gotcha. You're not sure. Yeah. Okay. I get it now. I get the question.
Sweet. Without an explanation for something, any answer is better than no answer at all.
No. because my mother told me when I went in the Army that I'm not going to be there to ask questions for you. You have to ask them yourself. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. It's stupid to not ask a question. So you don't want just any answer to gratify your explanation, because they're not. Oh, let's see. How can I put it without an explanation for something? Things some things are self-explanatory. Other things need an explanation. You can't just settle for any answer just to gratify yourself. Okay.
Awesome. I completely agree with you. We're on the same page.
You and I think a lot alike.
Yeah, we do.
See, that's what earlier.
It is okay to accept something is true because it is comforting.
It's okay to accept something that is true because it is comforting. Yeah, that's okay, because as long as you're comfortable with that, it makes you happy. Because to believe otherwise, you could end up being depressed. So people want to be happy. So, but it's not, accept something as the truth. Well, you don't want to really accept a lie, only if it's harmful. I got a thing about this harmful thing.
Okay.
And
Can I throw out an example?
Sure.
All right. So let's say that there's this guy that I know that his belief is that people with facial hair, and I actually got a little bit of facial hair myself. You got the little mustache.
I shaved this morning.
Gotcha. Okay. So he thinks that anyone with facial hair is just really unintelligent. Is it okay for him to believe that's true because it's comforting to him? It makes him feel superior because he shaves every day?
Well, yeah, it's right. As long as he keeps that comforting feeling to himself and doesn't go around telling the guy, "Hey, don't share that comfort. That's that's your own
Okay.
comfort. Just keep it to yourself, and then you'll be okay."
Is it logical to believe something just because it's comforting to you?
No, not
Okay.
because it's so it's
We're on the same page then, I think.
okay, cool. Hey,
All right.
thumbs up here too. I haven't reached so I can get I've been doing thumbs up down here because I'm resting my arms.
Gotcha.
I've been giving you thumbs up. You just haven't seen them. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I give all claims the benefit of the doubt when I first encounter them.
That's good. That's always that's what you call that's what you call benefit of the doubt.
What about my friend and his facial hair claim, his facial hair belief? Do you give that the benefit of the doubt, or do you reject that?
Yeah, well, I guess that would be saying all blondes are dumb, and they're not.
Right, right. So
So facial hair, a personal belief is, it's harmless, unless if you believe that you should do something that could hurt people, well, then that's not very beneficial. That's not a beneficial. But yeah,
okay.
with the facial hair, yeah, that's
So
right. That's on target. Yep.
so what I think I'm hearing now, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe we don't give all claims the benefit of the doubt. Maybe maybe I'll think of a better example here.
No, you're okay. I know where you're going with this. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You can't.
I'm right. Okay.
Yeah. All claims benefit of the doubt. Well, not if you have doubt of that claim. If you have doubt,
Okay.
then there would be no benefit.
So you have to be convinced first before
Right.
you'll give it the benefit of the
Right.
doubt, before you'll accept it. Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Moving on.
Cool. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Someone is justified in their beliefs until they are proven wrong or incorrect.
Sure. Yeah, you're justified. everybody has a right to their own independent belief.
So someone can believe that all blondes are dumb, and until they're proven wrong, we should they're justified. It's okay to logical to have that belief until they're proven wrong.
Yeah, I'd say logical, not justified. But as long as it's just your belief, because I know you've heard your share of blonde jokes, but I know blondes that are very smart, and I know brunettes that aren't. Just so it's just a myth, more or less.
Sure.
That you're representing is just a myth. So it's just there's a lot of myths out there, but they're harmless. They're harmless.
Okay. But someone isn't really logical to believe these myths until
they're not. They're not logical. No, they're not.
Okay. So they would have to prove that myth is true before they're logical. They don't have to be proven wrong. They have to prove it first.
Yeah, prove it first. Yes. Prove it.
Bingo. We're on the same page.
Yeah. Survey says.
The most important criteria for my belief is that they match reality.
It speaks for itself.
Yep. All right.
Criteria.
I agree.
That's what I call see and say. If what you see and what you hear compare to each other, then it's got to be true. You can't. You can. It goes beyond belief. It's reality.
I think I agree with you. I probably wouldn't put it in those words, but I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I could have picked a better choice, but
yeah, that's okay. It's okay. All right, we got the next section. This is the title of the next section. It's when should we change our minds? And the first statement is, I often investigate beliefs that do not match my own.
Sure, because you're seeking the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeking the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. Awesome. Yeah. See,
there's
my thumb. Now, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to do a right-handed thumb.
Okay.
I'm left-handed. I'm a southpaw. Or I could sit over this way a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I am comfortable with saying I don't know.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. If you don't know, you don't know.
Me too. Absolutely.
I would rather be comfortable saying I don't know than pretend that I know something and end up being wrong and make a fool of myself. So yeah, we're on the same page with that one. There we go.
Where'd my thumb go? I don't know where it went. Oh well.
Yeah, right here. My somewhere here. Here we go.
It is beneficial to find out when I am wrong about something.
Yes, most definitely. If you're wrong about something, don't be afraid to admit it. Then you'll feel better about yourself, and that's where you're beneficial, by admitting that you were wrong about something, and you can move on to the next. Then you can move on to the next wrong.
We're on the same page. Yep.
Okay.
I will abandon a belief if I discover reliable information that falsifies it.
I will abandon. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got it, right?
Yeah, you have to, because a belief is just a personal feeling, not a gut feeling. It's just a personal feeling.
Okay.
So I agree with that. Yep.
Okay. The more unusual the statement, the stronger the evidence needs to be.
Yes.
Yep. I would agree as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's a straight yes answer right there.
Yeah, absolutely. The larger the claim, the stronger the evidence.
Yep.
Okay. Last one. It is possible that some of my beliefs are not true.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Some of my group, when you find out your beliefs are not true, well then good. You learn something positive.
Bingo.
Right on. There we go.
Right on.
Yeah, we're doing just great.
All right. That concludes the SE survey. So we will be moving on here.
I feel like I was taking an SAT test.
Yeah, kind of, maybe.
It is, yeah. Well, it's a challenge. I like challenges, because then that's how you get to know people and stuff. And